Today is Saturday, October 18th, 2025. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for Survivor 49, Week 4.
Week 4. Somehow, partway through this, I got it stuck in my head. It was week 5. Kept looking at 5 stuff. I almost was relabeling things at one point. I don't know why I'm jumping ahead. Although there may be a clue in the listener feedback this week, so we'll see.
Well, we've been on fast forward for some time, so that doesn't surprise me, because remember when I asked you, this is week 4, right?
Yeah, it was funny. I don't think I said anything out loud. Yeah.
No.
But yeah,
I was like week 4.
No, I've been catching myself. This is 4. Yeah, that's still 4. As we're pulling everything together. Hey, Speaking of which, how many super fans checked in this week? 18, hanging in there with season 49. Interesting how things are playing out. I'm looking forward to hearing the different takes on how the season is being perceived.
Yeah.
Do we have any business we need to cover before we get rolling?
Not that I can remember.
All right, first up, we got a call from Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling here. Oh, yeah, baby. Can I say, finally, Alex's Blue Heater Tribe has won immunity. And that's not my Probst impression. That's sort of the one and only Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So I'm going to let out a great big yes. Now, this episode redeemed itself in a big way after last week's dull episode. After what happened to poor Jake and seeing Blue self-destruct, we need this, and we got it. Not just the tribe swap, but seeing them, now we got some real tribe dynamics. And I love the way it was old school, 2 to 2 tribes, seeing yellow and red divided up. And how about that? Sophie's on one team, Alex is back to his blue team. But again, so glad Alex got to win immunity. And finally, Blue got the flint, especially Alex. But let's get into it, guys, real quick. Matt, I think you guys have said it there, Matt, that he's kind of been full of himself. Now, yes, he's a fan, he knows the game. I like that he tried with Jawan. That could have been a major move, because clearly Jawan is at the bottom with Savannah, Rizzo, and Nate. And that could have been a big move, and he had the numbers with himself, Jawan, and Sophie, but it didn't pan out that way. I think, again, he hurt himself at Tribal, hinting to Nate that he was going to vote him out. But the player I want to talk about, guys, is Savannah. She's impressed me a ton all season. Now, I know we're not at the merge yet, but I think Stacey, as you like to say, she's taking it to another level. How about getting her alliance members to dig up even without Rizzo? And then Rizzo did the rest, and to his credit, he found the idol, even though they didn't need the idol because they had the numbers. Oh, Jason, I can't forget about you guys like Jason. That could have been a great move, too, for Matt with Sophie and Jawan, but it didn't pan out. And Jawan stayed with his red team. That could have been beneficial for him, but he didn't want to paint a target on his back. And Savannah's got him like a hawk. But again, kudos to them for finding the idol. I think Savannah's taking it up to another level. She's the top one right now, for sure. Love MC. I like that she helped pull that challenge out for Blue finally. And I'm worried for my homegirl Shannon. If they lose, guys, no doubt, it's going to either be Shannon or maybe Sage. And I think Steven doesn't seem a big fan of Shannon. So I hope Blue could win again next week, because it doesn't look good for Shannon. I'll check out Matt's interview. I think he saw the handwriting on the wall. I don't know if he truly believed Jawan was with them or not, especially at Tribal as it panned out. So I'll check out his interview interview to see if he knew it was going to be him or Jason. All right, guys. Great episode, though. Take care. Ooh.
Whoa, thanks, Pete. Yeah, he said he was like 90% sure that it was going to be him. But he said what we didn't get to see was he had spent hours with Jawan, and they had been on that journey together. So they had made a connection at that point, and he thought there was a chance some of that investment would pay off, that he would be willing to make a big play, but that was sadly not the case. And he is another one of these that really wasn't even thinking about playing his shot in the dark. I think both of them exhibited very poor judgment by not playing it. In hindsight, you can say Jason didn't need to, but there could be something else he knew that they didn't share with us. But it certainly looked to us like it could be either one of them.
Oh, yeah, and Pete said we like Jason. I don't know that I like Jason that much.
Great puzzle solver,
yes,
but after seeing his social game,
that's about it.
Yeah, I can't, I don't have anything positive to say for his social game.
It's nice that he's a fan, but
yeah.
Still.
He got that chance as an alternate, but he does not seem to have social acumen.
He rocks on puzzles, but that's, I feel about all the game he's got that we've seen.
Yeah.
So unless he changes that.
We didn't get to see much of New Hina. That's the way this 3-tribe format works when you have one of the tribes that's the disaster tribe.
He was on the outs with old Hina, so
majority.
He wasn't
and did not appear to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Nobody was giving him a heads up like MC did for Sophie S. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got a call from Rebecca.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. This is Rebecca back in California to prepare to make my picks Tuesday before I left. I printed up Paul's wonderful roster, and then I cut out the little thumbnails of everyone's pictures, and then I assembled them on my desk in their new tribes, which I saw the post on Instagram. Then I took out my paperwork of where I took notes from all the Jabik shows, and I finally settled on it would either be Matt or Jason, Sage or Shannon. I just closed my eyes and pointed. This is the intricate way I choose my picks. And then, of course, I go back to my notes and I go, okay, who did I think was no merge? Okay, put the safe points on them. And I got a vote out point because I picked Matt, but it easily could have been Jason. And all I have to say is, Jason, what the heck are you doing when people come to you on your brand new tribe and you're one of 2 who could be voted off and you're like, well, I just don't know what I'm going to do. No, what you're going to do is you're going to vote with them when they ask you to vote with them and keep yourself safe. I don't understand what he was thinking. He should take a page from Sophie's playbook where you kneel down and go, I love my new tribe. Adopt me. I will do anything to be in with you. Please let me work with you. I am all yours. So if I was on Survivor and I was in Jason's shoes, I would have been like, what old tribe? They're dead to me. I will do whatever you want me to do. Now, for the next time, I think Jason is definitely the most in danger on his tribe. And I hope Shannon is the most in danger on her tribe because I just can't listen to her anymore. Yes, it is so performative. It is so fake. And I don't understand how anybody is feeding into what she's putting down. I hope she gets voted off next. I hope Sage sticks around because even though she talks about the blackheads all the time, why? Why is that what you're leading with? I don't understand. I really hope it's Shannon who goes next. Love Rizzo, love Nate, love Savannah, who I chose as my USB, but you know who I really love and I want to win above my USB is Sophie P. I feel like she's getting this amazing winners edit. She's got my heart. I have to say, she's totally got my heart. She's scrappy, she's cute, she's wonderful, and I like her even more than my USB. I feel like she and Savannah and Rizzo and Nate are going to be a powerful 4, and I can't wait to see what happens with them. Sophie S. hasn't had a lot of screen time. I have to pay more attention to Steven and Christina and MC. I don't think Jason's going to be here long. I don't think Jawan's going to be here long. I think either pre-merge or very quickly post-merge, those guys are going to go out. So it's kind of shaping up that we're really getting to know who everybody is. And it's great to be back in California. It's only going to be for 5 weeks. I think I'm going to be back on Oahu before the finale. And I have to say, now that I have finished school and I don't have classes to take in the mornings anymore, moving coast to coast is so much easier. I'm going to take a Napa bike ride on Sunday. I can't wait. I'm going to save the feedback show for then to listen to while I'm biking. Thank you so much for all that you do. Great episode. Bye, guys.
Excellent. Yes, I've ridden out there and I've raced out there. Those are wonderful rides in that area. I hope you're having a great day when you hear this. Next up, we got an email from Tara in New York. Hi, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor friends. I was so excited to say goodbye to the Kella catastrophe this week. And finally, we got a return to 2 tribes, even if it's only for a short time. A head-to-head challenge, not ending with a puzzle, was a welcome change too. I wish production had been a bit more creative with the swap, since the usual random draw left us with a very predictable outcome. Sophie and Alex as captains in a schoolyard pick could have been really fun. Still, I enjoyed the episode, and it was great to hear from more of the cast. Sophie B. had another great episode this week. She seems like the poster child for overcoming adversity this season. At the start of day 7, she's soaked by the ocean and even struck by the ghost of the shoe bandit. To make it even worse, her swap tribe goes on to lose the immunity challenge. Still, she's able to turn it all around with some impressive social gameplay. By the end of the day, she's safer than ever, living on the beach with all the good stuff, and even gets reunited with her lost shoe. Not a bad turnaround for one day. In complete opposition to Sophie, Matt and Jason showed us what not to do playing the game. I really like Jason, but have no clue why he would act so closed off to his new tribe, declaring his loyalty to their enemy. And oh, Matt, all I can say is wow. He seems great, and I love that he wanted to play hard, but he was just all over the place. These guys could have both taken a cue from Sophie if they wanted to stay in the game for the long haul. By far, though, my favorite part of the episode was my girl Sage. In the Jabbick show, I mentioned that she reminds me of one of my best friends because she's so quirky and real. After this week, I love her even more. She said every single thing I've been thinking about Shannon all along. Maybe she's lovely in real life, but the character of Shannon on my TV seems so disingenuous and just fake with a capital F. Stacy hit the nail on the head when he mentioned her resemblance to Coach in South Pacific, one of my least favorite seasons. I just felt gross when she was talking to Christina about her mother. It seemed like she was taking advantage of someone in a vulnerable state, using faith as a tactic to get ahead. As Rizzo might say, it gave me the ick. But Sage saw through all of this and called it perfectly. Steven even picked up on Shannon's act. I had a good laugh watching him endure her breathing session on the beach without actually rolling his eyes. Hopefully we will see some real gameplay from Sage and Steven next week if this all comes to a head. After this vote, it's clear that Nate holds a lot of power within the former Uli bunch, and he will be the one to watch moving forward. Savannah and Rizzo clearly wanted Jason voted out, so I wonder if we'll see them butt heads in the future. Next week, I'm guessing we'll probably see some sort of puzzle with Jason getting a win for Hina. If that's the case, it should be game on between Shannon and Sage, and I can't wait to see what happens. As always, I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone else in our little tribe. Thanks so much, Joanna Stacy, for all you do. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks, Tara. I enjoyed all that analysis. Next up, we got a call from Rashmi.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all my Survivor friends. So, I have for the first time ever got 3 vote outs correct in a row.
Wow.
And that's not because I have some insight, but I just think it's been a little bit obvious as to who's going to go next. So I just think next person to be going is Jason, because he's just, I don't know. So far, I just think having 3 tribes is such a disaster, and it's not fun at all, and it's sad for the players as well because they don't get the opportunity to play the game to the fullest of their abilities. 2 tribes is really good, and I do hope it will happen, but I don't think Jeff will always want all this with him wanting to just starve the tribes and make them so uncomfortable that they just cannot strategize anymore. Well, saying that, I'm happy for my USB Rizzo, and he's always so much fun to watch. And I just have a feeling that now that Sophie with an I, who has got so close to Savannah, and Rizzo might team up, the three of them, and go till the end. So let's see what happens. Then there's Shannon. And she's so cringe with all her talking to people about their religion and her spirituality. It just doesn't do it for me. I just felt a little bit sad for Matt to see him go, because to see all the older players going. But I don't think he played really smart. He should have just gone and said, yes, I'm going to go with Boot for Jason instead of trying to put Nate under the bus. Well, let's see how it goes. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. And yes, I'm going to put Jason down as my vote out person. I just wanted to add that bit about the reward immunity challenge. Since they don't have so much happening and they've got 90 minutes in the episode, it would be really nice if there was a separate reward challenge and a separate immunity challenge. But that's wishful thinking. On that note, I just want to wish everybody a very happy, peaceful, and prosperous Diwali. Bye now.
All right. Thanks, Rashmi. Happy Diwali to you, too. Well, I don't think you're going to get your separate reward immunity challenge. They'll be doing another journey, it looks like, this week. So until we hit the merge, will they do journeys after that? I don't think they will, right? Then we'll get the separate challenges.
I know.
All right. Thanks, Rashmi. Next up, we got a call from Ryan.
Hello, Joanna Stacy. This is Ryan from Central Iowa. Just calling in for my feedback for the week. Update on my fantasy league with Doe's family. I am up 53. I'm in first place still after a good week. And she has still bringing up the back end with 16 points. Onto the episode. There's a couple things that I really enjoyed about this episode. I love the challenge. I thought it was a great challenge. What a finish. It wasn't a challenge that you would look at that could be great, but man, it was a fun challenge to watch. Both teams really fought hard in this and had to try to really overcome some obstacles. I liked it a lot. Oh, Steven sees who Shannon is. Sophie sees who Shannon is. Shannon is a narcissist. At least that's the way it appears at this episode. She is a chameleon pretending to be who she needs to be to do well in this game. And Steven and Sage see it. Now, I really hope that they can put something together to get rid of her. Matt, it was a good idea, but it was just a little bit too late. And I think that Jawan probably sees himself as on the bottom, but at this point doesn't want to try to rock the boat to try to get to the merge in this much. Nate, I still think, man, he's playing a really good game. I like it. I think he's my pick, my USB, and I hope he keeps going further. And Jason's hair. My goodness, every single week, his hair is it looks like a lion's mane. And it is awesome. I'm here for it, and it's fantastic. I did not like the lead up to the immunity challenge. I just thought it was too much of non-gameplay and non-strategy. So I wish they would have shortened that up and tightened it up and got to show more on this. So I'm excited to see what comes next. I like this episode. Maybe a 7.5 or an 8. All right. I'm excited to hear what the rest of the fans have to say.
Thanks, Ryan. Good job. Next up, got an email from Matt and Summer in East Tennessee.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all of our Survivor friends. We're back after a 2-week break from listener feedback. Ordinarily, 2 weeks of no comments would be a big lapse, but this season has sadly been so predictable. The only surprise was the outcome of Jake LARPing as the crocodile hunter who lets a snake get that close. We felt this last episode, even with the tribe SWAT, was somewhat predictable. Summer had a very strong hunch Matt would be in the crosshairs, and I felt he was somewhat on the outs as well. despite appearances. But we both knew he was one dead duck during his roundtable hammock interview with the younger castaways. Dude, you were in a hole to start with. You shouldn't have picked up the shovel. Summer has observed that original Kella may not have been unlucky or bad at challenges or built to be a disaster tribe. They were probably just really lazy. The discovery of the tree underwear at their camp after tribe swap does sort of prove that point. The challenge was a nice change of pace. We both wonder if the producers are upping their challenge game after the response that Australian Survivor has been getting the last couple of years. We don't really have any strong feelings on the vote out for next week. Sage's search for a friend on the island may not turn out as expected, and with so much self-doubt there, maybe a possible self-removal? Also, it seems to us that Shannon may be laying the spirituality on a bit thick, and we could see that irking her fellow castaways. Gonna have to watch the episode again to see my relationships.
Any relationships
and fault lines. Looking forward to what the other superfans have to say, and as always, appreciate everything you do for all of us. All right. Thanks, Matt and Summer. Up next, we have a call from Brandon.
Hey there, Joanne and Stacy. Brandon from Indiana here with my feedback for episode 4. Overall, I thought the episode was fine. I didn't really hate it, but I wasn't over the moon about it. I thought that the tribe switch, for years, a tradition is the tribe switch. I thought that was interesting, weird terminology that Jeff insisted on using rather than swap. I don't know if there was a reason for that. I could probably listen to his On Fire podcast and see if he said something about that, but I thought it was odd. I was bummed that Sage seems even more on the outs after the switch, but it is what it is at this point. She's not doing herself any favors, especially with just randomly being like, hey, I think this is time for you to learn about my blackhead collection. Okay, you know that the idea is not to alienate yourself and to not be voted out, right? I mean, I guess the idea maybe she's lowering her threat level in her mind. Maybe that's the whole plan. That's the strategy behind it. Because obviously she's thinking strategically because she's looking at her tribe mate that is quote unquote using religion like Coach in South Pacific. And I don't know. I saw that online a lot. I don't know that I really even care that much about what Shannon is doing, but I did think it was interesting that she was pointing that out and seeing that strategy, but then at other times it seems like she's completely oblivious to strategy. It makes me think that it is a planned situation where she's trying to be the weirdo to these people so that way they will just keep passing her up as far as like, well, she's not a threat. There's no reason to get rid of her sort of a thing, you know, the goat strategy sort of deal, but a little bit more on purpose. Fabio style. I'm currently rewatching Nicaragua, so it feels very in line with Fabio's thing of just, I'll just kind of be dumb and people will be fine with that. So interesting there. Curious where that goes. Definitely continuing to be in that mode of just, oh man, can we get to wherever it is that Jeff says that this ramps up? Because I am in desperate need of a more exciting episode of Survivor. Curious to see what everyone else had to think, because I do feel like sometimes I'm in the minority on my negativity, but I did hear a lot of other people kind of repeating the same things last week as well. So I know I'm not completely alone in this feeling. So can't wait till next week. I'll keep listening, and thanks again for the podcast.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
It was better than last week, I think.
Yeah. Good deal. Next up, we got a call from Anderson.
Hey, Joanne, Stacy, this is Anderson from North Carolina calling with my feedback for week 4. I don't know if this feedback's fast, but I'm surprised that I got my vote out. I didn't even watch the episode. Didn't find out who I voted out until like 5 minutes after the episode. Maybe I take 30 minutes before the deadline or something like that. So I'm surprised I'm tied for first with 13 other people, tied for first with side challenge. My percentage cast right now is, I don't know what's going on. So they don't know what's going on. They didn't even watch the episode. So I guess I'll be listening to the feedback show. And until next week, bye.
Okay, Anderson, good to hear from you. That's an interesting strategy you've hit on. Don't watch the show and make picks. Wow, it seems to be working somehow. Oh, goodness. Next up, we got an email from Mary in Maryland. Hello, everyone. I'm leaving feedback right after the episode, so I get it in on time this week. I haven't gotten to send in feedback yet this season, but have been listening since Jabbok and enjoying hearing from everyone again. I can't believe it. I got another 5-point week. I guessed Matt would be on the outs and not quite jive with his new tribe. I think Sophie and Alex will be just fine. I think they will be absorbed into their tribes. Based on Jabek and the Mike Bloom interviews, I chose Alex as my USB. I'm not quite sure now that he will actually win, but he seems personable and he may make it pretty far. Players I'm not enjoying include Sage. She seems to be going out of her way to be wacky in a really gross way. I would think twice if she were my therapist acting that way on TV. And I'm not enjoying Shannon's performative
religiosity.
Religion.
Performative religiosity.
Thank you. That one wasn't coming out.
Yeah, I know.
Although I'm glad to see she's not quite as innocent as she might seem and is playing the game. Players I think will go far include Sophie B., Savannah, possibly Rizzo, possibly Nate. Jawan seems to be on the outs, and Sophie S., MC, Steven, and Christina don't seem to have a big role in the overall storyline. I'm not sure where Jason fits in. He seems both too innocent for this game and too open with his love for old Hina, but also like an intelligent person who might realize his mistakes and make corrections to his game moving forward. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone else's thoughts. Thanks, Mary. Great to have you back with us. Next up, we got a call from David.
Drop your buffs. Everybody's fate is about to be thrown up in the air. Hey, Joanne and Stacy, it's David in Pittsburgh, and I have a bone to pick with you two. You said some very negative things about my USB the last time. Jason this and Jason that. And the worst thing of all is I agreed with everything you said. Oh, every time I saw Jason with that blank look on his face, I thought, you're the puzzle guy, but where's your strategy? After they switched up the tribes, Matt, Jason, and Sophie clearly were on the bottom. But wow, we got a really good lesson in working with the enemy or becoming one with them, and that was Sophie B. The puppy dog analogy was great. I believe she was sincere too. I don't think she was just faking it, but she just connected with every single one on that tribe, whereas Matt and Jason, they just seem to be not yet ready to play. When Savannah went to talk to Jason, and he just sort of said, yes, but kind of, my heart sank. I just thought right then and there, this guy is not going to win. My USB is toast. Rizzo talked to Jason about giving me some more trust to feel the vibe. And Jason's response was like, what do you mean? Like me and Matt? Hello? And he tells him he's going to play his shot in the dark. I'm sorry. This guy has no strategy whatsoever. Every time the camera panned to him, he just looked blank. When Jeff talked to him, he just looked like he was trying to figure out where he was on the tribe. It almost seemed as if he didn't even realize that he could be voted out at the tribal council. And the thing that saved him was that Matt made a big play, tried to make a big move with people he had just met, and it just really wasn't going to work out. Once again, someone makes a mistake of first throwing out a name rather than saying to the majority, what name would you pick? And I'll go along with you. But no, he said, let's make a big move and we'll take out one of your own. I guess Survivor can't influence how the swap is going to go, but the 4-2-1 on both tribes was probably the least dramatic of them all. If it had been 3-3-1 on each tribe, that would have been really exciting to see which team was going to come to the top, or even if Sophie and Alex were on the same team. But I guess I'm just going to wait until they finally merge before this game gets into high gear. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks, David. Yeah, David really highlighted that difference, that Sophie B., after going to all those tribal councils, just being beat down by the game, being engaged in the game, but being on the losing side so much, how tuned up and ready she was for that swap. Whereas, just like David was saying, Jason and Matt were still in first gear. They did not really... Matt switched pretty quick to... trying to play big like Probst always encourages them to do.
Well, and I agree with David. Jason's toast.
Yep. Indeed. Thanks, David. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and compared to last week, I thought that this was a huge improvement in quality for Survivor. I enjoyed this episode. I always love a swap, so I think that's a lot of fun. Even if it results in somebody I like going home, it just spices things up. It changes out of the normal tribes and everything, and so I always enjoy when they do a tribe swap. Now, yes, the two tribes was a breath of fresh air. Seeing two tribes on Survivor again is crazy. The fact that it's taken this long is crazy. And I thought it was super funny on the On Fire podcast. The producer, Jay Wolf, makes a comment. Yeah, Jeremy, 2 tribes of 7. That's old school, right? You relate to that. And Jeremy, nah, man. 2 tribes of 10, 20 people out there. Everybody's out there. That's what I'm used to. And I thought that was a really funny moment. I could just feel Jeff going there. No, don't remind the fans. Oh, no. Oh, Jeremy, stop. No. Oh, back when Survivor was good. Oh, no. Not 2 tribes of 10. We can't do that. But no, the problem with this swap, well, yes, I love the fact that we got 2 tribes. I love the fact that we swapped. I love the fact that it changed from just the boring, like what we were doing before. The problem is, we know nothing about Hina except for Steven and MC. And then there's Matt, where Matt started good and then he progressively got worse. His highlighted moments became negative. And then that leads into the swap, where you have a guy that we don't know at all, except for the fact that he's amazing at puzzles. And then you have Matt, who Matt has been a kind of a negatively viewed player. So when Jason doesn't get a big moment in this episode like Christine did, if Jason got something like that here, then I might have been, okay, so Jason is going here. But no, because Jason still gets nothing. And so obviously I'm, okay, so Jason's not going anywhere. And it is Matt. And I did pick my vote off correctly. This season is just becoming very, even with a tribe swap, it's becoming very predictable because the Hina tribe is so under-edited that I just, anytime one of them goes to tribal council, I'm like, all right, who has a narrative? Steve and MC, they're probably fine. Anybody else? Yeah, we could see them go. Now, I think that if the new Kella tribe goes, it'll be Shannon. And that's my prediction for next week. I had her going last week. That didn't work out. But I think that Shannon is going next week. Well, we'll see. But they've really mishandled the editing with this season because it's just so easy to tell who is going home, even at a tribe swap. And it's crazy. It is crazy to me. But yeah, that's all I got. I will see you all next time.
All right. Thanks, Parker. Next up, got an email from Addie in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. There seems to be a bit of misunderstanding on how my name is pronounced. So let me first quickly clear that up. Phonetically, my name is pronounced Addie and rhymes with the word baddie. So I get that as an annoying nickname a lot. I'm also a boy, despite the fact my name is very feminine. However, both of those things are really common mistakes, so I don't mind.
Yes, welcome to the Androgynous Name Club.
Yes, we get it all the time. I just realized the other day, after a year, we were paying the homeowner's insurance, and I realized they have me as Joe and the male of the house, and has Stacy's age for me, and that Stacy has my age, and Stacy is the female. And I'm like, seriously? I've spoken to you guys on the phone tons. I've corrected you like, no, I'm Joanne. He's Stacy, and they still don't have it.
Yeah.
So and this happens all the time.
Human
I get
nature.
calls and like, well, I'd like to speak to Joe. Because my name is spelled as 2 words. J-O space A-N-N.
Yeah.
And so on all of my things, it's either Joe or Joe A.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So I just, all the doctor's offices, and they're, Joe? Here I am. And people call and go, I'd like to speak to Joe. And I'm like, speaking? Huh? And they do the same with Stacy. We get Miss Stacy all the time.
Yes,
and Miss Stacy there?
I still get mail for like teenage girl magazines for Miss Stacy.
Yep. Okay.
Offers.
So we get
My mother was very economical in her name choices, so me and my two sisters have those kind of androgynous names that would have worked.
Yes,
either way. Of you. She picked one name, she was done, moving on. So we know what you're dealing with there, Addie.
So since I don't technically have a middle name, they
you covered it.
Them writing it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about Sophie B. I know I should feel bad for her because she literally hasn't won a single challenge. But considering she was the only person from Kella on a new tribe, she is in a really good position strategically. She paired with Savannah pretty well, and she's one of the most powerful players in this game. I'm not sure if Savannah would give up her alliance to save Sophie, but it's way better than nothing. And not to mention, she went to the Hina camp, so she's got plenty of supplies from their previous wins. Anyways, I got another vote out point. Big surprise. You would think that a tribe swap would make an episode unpredictable, but the next time on Survivor, Scene really gave it away that Matt was going to be eliminated. I mean, Savannah said some very telling words that Matt was on the outs, even though she voted for Jason. And the fact that the producers decided to show that almost seems like they want us to know who's going home. And this wasn't a one-time thing. It's been going on for every episode so far. After this episode ended, I thought that they were going to continue the trend and Jason was going to be another easy vote out point because he really messed up with Savannah. But then I had another idea that sort of seemed to make sense. Now that Matt's gone, the original Hina tribe is down a castaway to the original Uli tribe going into the merge, which both tribes are looking towards as a battle. If the actual Hina tribe loses another challenge, there's a strong possibility that the original Hina tribe will be down another member. I think that the original Hina tribe could possibly see this and might want to make it even. My idea was that the actual Kella tribe would throw the I was just saying this earlier. The Kella tribe would throw the challenge to get rid of an original Uli member, which was the original Hina tribe does have the numbers to execute. Sorry if that was confusing at all. There's a very good chance that I'm overthinking this. Well, if you did, so did I. Continuing with my theory, I think that Alex won't be a target, so it'll be between Sage and Shannon. Of these two, I think they will vote out Shannon. I'm with you. I think Sage can find a way to convince the original Hina tribe that Shannon is close to the original Uli tribe, which she actually is. However, I'm not totally decided between Jason and Shannon, so I'm going to wait to hear what you guys have to say. Hopefully, I won't forget to mark my picks, though, because we usually listen to your podcast in the car, but I'll try to get to it. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope everyone has a nice weekend.
Thanks, Addie. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Kim.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. This is Kim from North Carolina. Hopefully there aren't too many weird noises because I'm at the airport. I'm enjoying this season so far. I like the 90-minute episodes. We get a lot more tribe time. Like many of us, I don't like it when one tribe gets decimated. I just have a couple of things. I really want Sage to outlast Shannon. I don't like Shannon. Who looked good this week? Rizzo, very strategic. Sophie B just weaseled her way in and became the darling with Nate. I think maybe Sage is looking better this week. And of course, Savannah, when are they going to wake up and see how hard she's playing? I'm wondering if Joanna's clueless or just a good actor. It's kind of hard to tell. So who looks worse this week? Hopefully Shannon. I have a question mark, but Steven seems to be onto her. Jason, because he should just say yes. I think y'all said this in the recap. In the tribal, it looked like he maybe didn't realize that they were talking about him. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes forward for them. One thing about JSFL is I feel like the show has not been trying to trick us with who's going to go in the next episode. I assume that their previews were trying to trick me, so my last 2 vote out points were a big 0. I put Sophie S as my USB, and I'm wondering how that's going to turn out now. She hasn't gotten much screen time, so maybe hers is coming well into the game. I was sorry to see Matt go, but I get why they sent him. And he didn't really seem to be as aware as he should have been. I think that's it for me this week. Thanks for everybody's participation. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy. And I'll be talking to you later on. Bye.
Thanks, Kim. Great to hear from you again. I think we solved the Sophie S mystery. Why was she purple? I mean, cross your fingers, like Kim was just saying, that your USBs is going to make for some great intense gameplay at the end, but her willingness to vocalize her non-gratitude for the fruit platter.
Yeah.
Seems like it might have earned her a purple edit. That's what I'm thinking now. Just because she was not all up in Jeff's face with, yes, that's worth playing for. Yes, did not demonstrate.
This bounty I'm giving you.
Yeah, did not demonstrate appropriate gratitude. Therefore, purple for you.
Wanted something else.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that. I'm sure she's used to eating that way because she is muscular. You can tell she works out, and so I'm sure she's used to eating that way and certainly not getting it out there.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Kim. Next up, we got a call from Joe.
Well, the Survivor producers really seemed to answer my question about idols and beaches. It was almost like they heard last week's feedback. Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all Survivor superfans. This is Joe from Huntersville. First off, a word of advice for Sage. Please, develop a filter. No one needs to hear about your fascination with blackheads or your frequent bathroom breaks. Seriously, just stop. Now, as someone said on the feedback show last week, Shannon is giving off coach vibes. Let's hope it doesn't rub everyone the wrong way. Did they really build an entire fake game just to disguise the tribe swap? Or was it scrapped because Jake went home due to the medevac? They mentioned record heat. Can you imagine the crew setting up a whole challenge in the blazing sun just for Jeff to say, "That's called a Survivor fake out"? Then they moved the contestants to Keeley Beach. According to Jeff, it has absolutely nothing. Except for the snake that took out the player last week. Is Jeff trying to get everyone bitten? Just a question. During the immunity challenge, why didn't they stack the small blocks first before placing them on the big blocks? It would have required more balance, but at least they wouldn't have had to climb so high. Now, at Tribal Council, Hina wanted the votes on Matt and Jason. The guys voted Matt, the girls voted Jason. Was that a coordinated move? It seemed like a smart backup in case Matt played the shot in the dark successfully. But beyond a quick mention, I didn't catch the reasoning behind it. Could it hint at a future guys alliance? Finally, is it just me, or does Survivor have an A team and a B team producing these seasons? I'm starting to think that the A team is busy prepping for season 50, while the B team is behind this no surprise season. And now it feels like they're signaling Shannon, Sophie S., or Steven as the next to go. So what are your thoughts? I can't wait to hear the other Survivor fans chime in on how they see this season shaping up. For me, it's getting a little too scripted. Well, as Tigger would say, ta-ta for now.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I think you might be onto something with that A team, B team. It is starting to feel a little bit like they're rushing through 49 and it's not getting equivalent attention of a full season. And on your comment on the blocks, you and Jill, who's coming up, made similar observations. And I went back and watched the challenge, and you can actually see at one point Sage adding 2 blocks at a time. I think those were the big blocks. And then Nate did 4 of the small ones at once. So they weren't forced to only add 1 at a time. Interesting. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Joe. Next up, we got an email from Josh, the plush moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I'm writing to say that I'm not actually writing any feedback this week. Psych. Actually, you'll have to deal with my usual drivel. This is what's known as a feedback fake out. Blame Jeff. Okay. Nice. My other observations. Sophie survived a shoe bandit and a shoe getting washed away. I don't think that's what's meant by being the sole survivor. That never occurred to me. That's really nice. Jeff likes making the players uncomfortable. Don't be surprised if Kella is the merge beach and they're not allowed to bring anything from Hina. Matt's been sent packing. At least he gets free air travel for the flight home. Puppy Sophie buried her Kella buff when she switched tribes. Oh, how cute. Rizzo didn't have his vote, but said the other three Uli still had a majority. That's Culpepper math. Newsflash, buffs are not sandwiches, but if Jeff starves the players long enough, they might give them a nibble. 2 split tribes and 1 is Kella. Really? Is the season's hidden theme haves versus have-nots? Sorry, Steven, but I don't think that any of the challenges will include Excel. Nate made a fire for Sophie. That's what you do when you find and adopt a cold, wet puppy. Sage is an odd duck. Steven is a weird duck. I'm pretty sure Rizzo is Daffy Duck. Unlike his normal job in Washington, D.C., Alex is open for business and will make deals. Shannon's higher power listed included God, Jesus, and Mother Nature. I'm glad she stopped before saying Tinkerbell. Nate's dream about his kids was rough. Did they sass him, leave toys out, and clothes on the floor? The Hina force is strong in young Jason, but his social game is weak. Savannah says baggage handler Matt is a sociopath. Does he lose people's bags on purpose? Survivor syllogism, Shannon wants to work with a mom. Christina is a mom. Shannon wants to work with Christina. When Sophie whined about not wanting the fruit, who else expected Jeff to take it back? It did seem like that was a possibility. When Christina fell after kicking the stack of blocks, I was afraid we'd see medical again. More inconsistency from Jeff. He tells some players when they're good to go, but says Matt wanted a printed invitation. Yeah, that was kind of harsh on Matt, wasn't it? That was kind of out of the blue. Kella Beach finally has Flint. Does it have a pot and a machete too? The man, the myth, the legend, the Rizgod. More like a legend in his own mind, if you ask me. Can someone explain to me why Uli's Beware key was in a small portable bag while Kella's was a literal ball and chain? You can get vodka from a potato. You can also get greasy French fries from one. I'm not tracking that yet. Okay. I think last week's Aussie nurse broke my closed captioning. It kept saying that anyone but me was a Xander kind of game. Oh, instead of Sandra. I gotcha. Interesting. Matt targeted Nate and made his big move to Ponderosa. Rizzo says Hina versus Uli is a long rivalry, like the Red Sox versus the Yankees. Dude, it's only been a week. In the Air Force, 2 working together is a section. Seeing things that don't exist is a Section 8. Jawan trotted out his let's make a deal shocked face when he saw the tribal council set. Nate, having your name thrown out isn't an elephant in the room. It's called playing the game. Jason doesn't know if he's deceptive or honest. I guess he's on the show to find himself. Rizzo says the past is past and Hina doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't the same go for Uli? Jawan's analogy about friends coming over to visit was weird. Talking about absent family and friends is a normal party gatherings I've attended. Jason and Matt are living under the bus. Is Camilla still on the island? Nate needs to up his slang game. Kick rocks is up there in age with the bee's knees. Tribal Council was a final exam for Jason. Jawan's lucky that the question he flubbed was just a pop quiz for him. In Jeff's commercial, he offered to call my number. Nah, I'm good. Next time Rizzo says it's an all-out war, the tribes struggle in a water cage challenge. Savannah says Jawan's annoying and may flip. And Sage is a wolf who will eat Shannon. Does the next reward include spices? Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanna and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Justin.
Hey, Joanna and Stacy and all the Survivor superfans. It's Justin from Michigan. So, one little criticism I have about the tribe swap. I love that we're back into 2 tribes, but I would have liked them to get a little creative with how those tribes are divided. Either captains, they could have easily had Alex and Sophie be captains. They could have ran a challenge and then the winners are captains. They could have ran a challenge and top half are on a tribe, the bottom half are in a tribe. Or they could have done some type of split where they ensure it's 3-3-1 from each tribe. They could have done something there. The way that it shook out, I was curious if there was any discussion about throwing the challenge, because you have this Hina versus Uli rivalry, and each side has 4-2. So even if you don't bring in the Kele, you still have the numbers. So I was wondering if there was discussion about that and we just didn't see it because it didn't actually come to play. But that would have been interesting to hear, at least a discussion about it. I wouldn't advocate for that. I never think there's a good reason to throw a challenge, but it would have made sense for there to be a discussion. So with Matt and Jason, I think they are possibly the two worst strategic players on Hina. Jason, I thought he talked himself out of the game. The way that Savannah was talking, I don't know why, when you only have two Hina and Matt wasn't even your biggest ally, why you would keep bringing up, hey, I'm Hina strong, I'm just here while I'm here. That's crazy to me. But Matt, he was a little more erratic, but he was actually doing something, so I can't blame him too much. The one thing, after he went after Sophie initially, and they weren't really receptive to that, he probably shouldn't have pivoted so hard to Nate. I thought that was a long shot. And then once he was at Tribal and he found out Sophie was tight with them, there was no numbers for Nate. You were the only vote going to Nate. You might as well have played your shot in the dark. So this is 3 out of the 4 people that went. Yeah, so all 3 voted out. It was a clear reason to play your shot in the dark. You didn't have the numbers. Your vote didn't matter. This game mechanic is there for that reason, where you at least have a 1 in 6 shot. If your shot in the dark hits, Jason's going home, at least you buy yourself another week to win challenges or hope for another swap or merge. So I just don't understand these people who their vote doesn't matter. They're clearly on the bottom. Play your shot in the dark. So that's all I have to say about that. Going forward for next week, so far these vote outs have been kind of telegraphed. So I know I'm down in the side challenge, but it's because I'm overthinking it. I'm this is too obvious. I'm not going to go with this. I'm going to go a little contrarian, and that's not working out. So I'm just going to go with the chalk, which I think is either Shannon or Sage, if that tribe loses, or Jason, if that tribe loses. So I think I'm going to go one of those 3, probably Shannon or Sage, and looking forward to what everyone else has to say. Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I expect to see some talk about throwing challenges this week for sure. Next up, we got a call from Jill.
Hi, Joe and Stacey. Hi, Survivor fans. My name is Jill. I have 3 dogs called DJ, Storm and Smudge, and I enjoy cooking. And that's how you introduce yourself to people for the first time. Why on earth that Sage thinks that it's good to talk about keeping blackheads, I have no idea. It just blows my mind, quite frankly. But on saying that, I think she has nailed it about Shannon, that she is performative. All of a sudden she goes from just spiritual and she gets with new people who are more religious, and off she goes with that. That was quite the change. But I swear, if she mentions blackheads in jars one more time, I'm just going to have to spew. I like the tribe swap, and I think it was about time that happened. I would have liked to see them, because there was still the yellow and the red tribe intact, I would have liked to see them split them up evenly. Give each team 3 red or 3 yellow and 3 blue buffs, so that there would be 3 each on each new tribe, and the same with the 2 blues that were left. Give them 1 of each and see who picked what. Yeah, and then we really would have seen where battle lines were drawn, I think. I thought for sure either Matt or Jason would have played their shot in the darks, even both of them, because I don't think either of them felt too comfortable. Well, they certainly shouldn't have. And maybe Matt did have to try something, but really he was just grasping at straws. It was good to see that Sophie had a nice soft landing into her new tribe, and the original Reds really just absorbed her into their tribe. It was good to see, certainly for Sophie's sake. And I almost don't think that she'll be at the bottom of that tribe, that she'll be able to integrate herself as a proper number, as a proper member of that tribe. I like that challenge too. It was good. Do you reckon that they could have lifted it from the bottom, so done the small blocks first and then just sort of lifted them and put the bigger blocks in, save having to climb on top of each other's shoulders and make pyramids and all that sort of stuff? I don't know if you know what I'm trying to get at there, but I wonder if there was another way around that, or did they have to build up from the from the bottom up. That'll do me. Happy days, everyone. Bye.
That's another interesting twist on that idea. I like when people are trying to think about ways to optimize the challenges. So you're saying place the small blocks on the bottom. Because they were smaller, that would be less total height for all 10 of them, and then stack the larger ones on top of that. And if you did like we saw Nate and Sage doing, where they were adding more than one block at a time, maybe that would have made it, I don't know. I think the relative sizes of the smalls and the larges would have made that stack unstable. You'd have to hit it pre-dead center to have a hope of having the small ones on the bottom.
Yeah, I agree.
To pull that off. Because it did get so high. Interesting. I like that idea. That would have been a very controversial approach for sure if it didn't work out, but it would have been exciting to see them try.
And
when they were coming from behind, when New Kella was behind, it would have been an interesting tactic. New Hina was behind.
When you're placing the larger ones on top of the smaller ones and trying to keep balance, I think it might be harder to have that balance, because the bigger ones, if you didn't get it just right, or it could tip it.
I think you're correct. Yes. Yeah, good deal. Thanks, Jill. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California, and here are my thoughts on Survivor 49, Episode 4. Previously on Survivor, we're told new information about the Beware Advantage and what happens if they go to another beach. I don't like seeing things on previously on that we haven't seen in the actual episode. Maybe it would be better if you showed that to us in a flashback scene when Rizzo is on the prowl and they find the clue. Use that time as an opportunity to take us back to when the full clue was read. I like that idea better than doing it at the previously on segment, because you look like you're rewriting history when you do it in the previously on segment. Mm-hmm. But if you show it to us in a flashback during the episode, I think that there is better continuity in that. Drop your buffs. We have a tribe swap, and the two tribes are absolutely, I'm going to say, evenly split. I like the makeup of them. Each tribe has one former Kela, or Kele, I'm not quite sure how you say it, blue. And then New Hina has 4 formerly of the red tribe and 2 of the yellow tribe. And New Blue tribe has 4 former of the yellow tribe and 2 formerly of the red tribe. So on each new tribe, each faction has a 4-2 advantage on one of the tribes. So it's still a huge red versus yellow rivalry. I found that very interesting, and I like it. I don't like it when they switch up and fate gives us all of the strong people on one tribe and all of the weak people on another, or something like that. I like the fact that this is kind of a competitive division of people, if you will. When we looked at the camp of the New Blue tribe, I was thinking to myself, Shannon and Sage have an opportunity to start over. And as soon as I said that to myself, I thought, never mind, they opened their mouths to speak. They just cannot get out of their own way. We'll see how they fare, but they were off to the same start that they were, I think, on the old tribe formation. On New Hina, on the other hand, Sophie B did very well ingratiating herself into the majority group. Good for her. And by contrast, Jason, he just couldn't get out of his own way. I'm thinking this guy is a really good guy who does not lie or tell even little untruths in his real life. He's super loyal, and he just cannot hide that to save his own game life. Now, I am never one to throw a challenge, but I was thinking to myself, the group that is in the majority there, to protect their Uli numbers, might want to just not try so hard at the next immunity challenge. It wouldn't be the end of their world to get rid of Jason and go into the merge with large numbers. I never thought I'd say that, but if these two groups are as loyal as they are looking, I don't know, a little bit of thinking ahead and kicking Jason to the curb might be to their benefit. I cannot believe I just said that. So with that, I'll leave that there. I'm going to go wash my mouth out with soap, and I can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. Till next week.
I think you're spot on, Jen. I think you're
absolutely right along the same line.
The 4-2-1 just encourages that. You have to, like Justin was talking about, you have to consider it. Whether they're showing it to us or not, or saving it, it has to come up.
Well, I was really surprised myself in that same thinking, because usually I'm like, there's no excuse for throwing a children. And now I'm like, they
to preserve your majority.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do?
Also, I was looking at it from old Hina's point of view as well. Mm-hmm. If the new Kella was thinking, then they would absolutely throw the challenge. This is the only chance they have. Number one, it would save Jason, and they could get rid of one of the Reds.
Yeah, even back up again.
Yes, Sage or Shannon. Now, I think if they're smart, they'll get rid of Shannon and see that she's a way bigger threat than Sage. Number one, she could win individual challenges. She's good in the challenge. She's a lot stronger and more together, more balanced, a better swimmer, all of that than Sage is. Sage isn't
from what we've seen
competitive.
Yeah.
In the challenges, and so to me, Sage, even though, but at this point, you're not looking to keep strength. I mean, they are 1 or 2 tribal councils away from the merge,
right? And
they have merged at 13, which they have right now. But definitely, after this week, it's possible they go ahead and merge at 12. Most likely, they'll go to 11, which they are famous for doing in the New Age. Mm-hmm. But, you got a couple chances. I even went so far as to say new Kella, if they really wanted to keep the old Hina numbers, they would throw the next 2 challenges and get rid of Sage and Shannon, and that would put them in the majority.
So we could end up in this scenario where the idea of the challenge is completely subverted by both tribes trying to throw it.
Yeah.
And that can
not be obvious, because it would really tick Jeff off.
That can go to a deadlock pretty rapidly.
But you can totally see how that works for them, for both tribes, to throw it to keep their numbers.
Because of the 4-2-1.
Yes, absolutely.
Or 4-1-1 for New Hina now.
Absolutely. And I really think that this week it is a red herring, Savannah talking about getting rid of Jawan, because that would be that's an emotional response from Savannah, which she's known to do. Mm-hmm. But I cannot imagine that Nate, being as level-headed as he is, would not talk her out of that.
Right.
That he would be the voice of reason, going, look, this is what could happen. Let's look at the numbers strategically. We have to get rid of Jason.
There'll easily be time to get rid of Jawan later.
Yes, plenty of time to get rid of Jawan. Let's keep the numbers first. Yeah. Let's get control of the game.
In the merge.
Then we can get rid of Jawan anytime we want to.
Right.
And you can have your revenge or whatever it is you're looking for. But right now, we need to establish numbers, and that means getting rid of Jason, in my book. Anything else would be nuts. Though we know people do things emotionally.
It seems like, because there's enough game-savvy people in this season.
Hopefully.
And we've got some game-savvy people on both these tribes, on the swap tribes, New Hina, New Kella. We're going to end up in a weird, who's going to throw it first? Who's going to achieve the throne challenge, or some weird deadlock, which is going to really throw production for a loop.
Well, just like the other fans, Addie and Jen, I'm right there with you, have been. I've been looking at this and studying the roster and going, wow, they almost have to.
We've seen examples of it before where it really behooves you to, if you want to get control of the game, you're going to have to throw one. Even though throwing a challenge can lead to a disaster. It can start a cascade of things that you can't stop.
Here's what I'm excited to see. Who is going to realize it on old Uli, and who's going to realize it on old Hina? Somebody's going to have to realize, wow, we really need to do this to make this strategic move, to make this result happen.
Yeah, I think like Justin was saying, they're hiding it. They didn't show us, but that must have come up.
Sure.
And you don't have to show it in that one. The narrative they ended up with.
You don't want to show it till it's actually happening.
Right.
And but I think that's a big possibility. Either tribe could decide to do that.
Yeah, now good luck with your picks when they're both trying to throw the challenge. How's that going to end?
Well, I'm still counting on, if Hina loses, I just have to decide which one I think might lose. And if it's Hina, I'm going Jason all the way. And if it's Kella, I'm going Shannon. It would be insane not to take Shannon. She's way more strategic. She's more lethal. She's better in challenges. You're going into the merge. You don't take Sage.
The X factor in that is that only Alex on New Kella has been tested at Tribal Council. All these other folks have not been tested.
Yeah.
And we have no clue how they're going to behave under that pressure.
True.
But it should be somewhat exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. If we're going to end up with some kind of historic new event in Survivor because of the desire to have the majority at the merge.
Right. However, I do see a little snafu that Christina's going to balk if they start talking Shannon. Now, they don't need Christina's vote to vote out Shannon.
Nope.
Even Sage will vote for Shannon.
Sure.
And so
Alex will pull as long as it's not me vote, he'll have some relief.
Yep.
For going there.
So they will, okay, Christina, if you can't vote for Shannon, throw it wherever you want to. But we don't need your votes to
you
do
will
it.
be the first of our number that gets voted out because you couldn't get on the page.
They can't say that. But
No. That would be what I would think, though.
You're not voting with us. You're jumping. That's not hanging with your old tribe and being loyal to us. You want to be more loyal to her.
You can give her an easy landing. You can let her be part of the split vote if it looks like they need a split vote. So just like with what they did this week.
Yeah. But anyway, that's how I've been looking at it, and it's just like, wow. I don't remember really seeing this kind of scenario before and going, oh yeah, I think they should throw it. That's just so foreign to my way of thinking, but I really think they should.
A lot of fans are wrestling with that. Yeah, definitely.
I know, I was too, and I thought, yeah, but this is the way to get the numbers. Who's going to think of this?
How cutthroat are you willing to be?
And how far ahead are you thinking?
Yep.
I'm anxious to see next week.
We want to thank everybody who took the time to send in your thoughts and predictions this week and get all this churning and bubbling and thinking about how this is going to play out. We loved hearing your thoughts on the episode and how you think the new tribes are coming together. Also want to say a big thanks to Kim for your subscription donation. We greatly appreciate that. That helps make sure it goes to our operational cost and helps make sure that all the episodes going back all the way to 2005 are out there for anyone to enjoy. Yeah, at any point. So thank you for that, Kim. We appreciate you.
If you play in JSFL, remember to make your picks for one person voted out and 4 people who you think will still be in the game at the end of the episode.
We're looking forward to the next episode, and we'll be back with our recap then.
Have a good one.